Katty, Konnie, and Loudmouth Linda, keeping it real, no agenda. Satire, truth, and a whole lot of fun. Politics, crime, we get it all done. From breaking news to a joke or two, we do it our way just for you. We just can't make this stuff up. 1 year strong and we ain't gonna stop. Mic in hand, voices loud, shouting truth, making you proud.
Well, good evening, guys. Back to the same old thing, right? Once upon a nightmare. Hey, Royal! Good to see you. Have you been waiting patiently to see what your state is doing? They've been actually pretty quiet till recently, and now they are kicking off. So, before I show you all of this, let's say what a beautiful day today was, and I was glad I was in it. The Lord provided me a beautiful day, and I'm proud to be in it. All right. Now, in saying that, I guess some of these people aren't, huh? Or maybe, or maybe they are proud to be in it, right? Let's see. Let me share my screen with you. And, you know, guys, I was going to say, if you have not seen, go to nokings.org, right? And then there's a map there, and it has little dots all over it on your state or whatever. Click on the dot close to by your house, and it will tell you what time No King starts in a city near you. I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up, okay? We just can't make this stuff up, and I don't know what to say. I just don't. I'm sorry. I watched it after I left you guys last night, and yeah, we're going to start doing this again, right? It's the same thing over and over, and it doesn't change. It's not changing. It's just not changing. And their chants are changing, though. Now they're saying peaceful protest while the guy behind them is drawing all over everything or breaking the cement up or doing whatever. You know, I don't know what their definition of peaceful is. It's not my definition of peaceful, but yeah, they're like, these guys, you know, I kind of got this thing. It's like, my mom used to tell me when I was growing up, don't be a follower. Don't be a little duck following the big ducks. And I used to think, well, no, I never did that. And it came to my mind today. So that's where the thumbnail came from. You know, don't follow the big ducks. Be your own person. Don't be a follower. Because that's what these guys look like. Little ducks following after the mama duck. And be your own person. Stand up. Yes, stand up for what you think is right. But there's other ways of standing up, right? Can we go to court? Can you talk to your congressman? Or do you really believe you have to get out here and deface public property and tear up the sidewalks and throw rocks at the police? And so I was looking up the people they arrested because there's a lot of fake news out there. They're not, I want you guys to picture this. This is not happening. This is the news that we're hearing. ICE is hiding in the bushes, and the minute they see him coming, they're jumping out and grabbing him and put him in the truck. Come on. That sounds like a comedy. ICE has the address of all of these people that are on the bad list. They've got their address. They've got all of that stuff. So if you're an illegal and you're minding your own business and you've got a clear record, right? And you've got somebody, some family member or friend or whatever that has come over and they've got their address and they're a criminal, they're going to clean the house. That's just the way it is. They're going to arrest everyone in the house. And if you're illegal, you may be deported. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure if you would or not. I know that criminal's going to be for sure. But so with the people that they've arrested, this is what I've seen. Okay, this is what I've heard. One was a murderer. One got arrested for raping somebody with an inanimate object. Okay, wrap your brain around that. I'm not sure what they were doing, but I don't think you're supposed to, I just don't think you're supposed to stick things in bad places and in places. I just don't. Let me see. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to stop getting all of these ads for you. Anyway, so, we don't want anyone that's killed anybody in our country. We don't want anyone that's raping and pillaging and doing nasty things and vulgar, repulsive things in our country. And their countries don't want them either. And the arrests that they have arrested are these people that have these criminal records. The ones that are here working and have been here, they're being let loose. They're not being deported. So this is all a big lie. This is to ramp up all this stuff. Some of these people, yeah, maybe some of them are being detained right now, but they had a criminal living with them. Eventually, they'll help them get through the system. Like Christine Ohm said today, if you're an illegal and you want to be here, turn yourself in. We may deport you for a little while, but we'll get your paperwork and get you back here as quick as we can. We got to have, everyone has to go through, they got to go through the paperwork. That's just the way it is. And the people that have gone through the paperwork and did everything legally are actually mad about this. They're mad. Because why did I have to work so hard? Why did I have to fill out all the paperwork? Why did I have to do all of this? And they can just stay here and they didn't have to do anything. And some people have paid a lot of money to be here. And I would be mad if I was a migrant and I paid a lot of money and studied American history and and had to take the test and then turn around and somebody else can just come in and get everything and they didn't have to pay anything. And you know what I mean? Follow what I'm saying? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? This is what I mean. This is what I mean. You just can't do that. You got to do it legally. That's why we have laws. Other countries would not allow you to go in there and just stay. They wouldn't. They're watching you from the time you get off that airplane. From the time you get off that airplane and you show your passport, they're clocking your time. I'm telling you, they're keeping an eye on you and they're clocking your time. So if you think that you're going to just say, well, I'm just going to have an extended day and not go home, they're going to come back and say, why are you still here? You're working a job? You're planning on staying here? No, you're not. You're going home right now. Just saying. That's the way it is. And I'm sure that they would give you probably 2 weeks and then they'd start looking for you. If they haven't seen your passport scanned that you were going home. A month would probably be extending it a little bit too much. But that's what I got to say. When in Rome, right? When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Well, you're in Rome right now. Actually, you're in America. We have 50 states. You're in one of them. And you need to get your paperwork done. And you need to be legal. Just bottom line. Every one of these people, when they came over, got a free cell phone. We all heard that. We all know they got a free cell phone. Although I don't live far from the border, and there's a dumpster down there full of cell phones because they don't want to be tracked. Does that not tell you something? I mean, when you throw a cell phone in the garbage because you don't want them to there's a Marines up there. I see them up there on that top floor. There they are, checking it out. Last night after even after I warned them and I pleaded with them and I told them it's 8 o'clock, go home, curfew's up, go home. They didn't go home. They were out there till, well, I quit watching at 1 o'clock in the morning and they were still out there. And I'm actually glad I stayed on because I'm going to tell you some of the things that I heard that I couldn't believe. There's a guy I watch on YouTube and he's a really nice guy. He's humble and he's nice and he just goes up and asks people questions. And he was there last night in New York. And they started just badgering him and they spit at him and they told him he was a rapist, which he's not. And then they said, "Why don't you go do your mother?" And he said, and then they said, "Your mother, I bet your mother's ashamed of you." And he said, "No, I'm good friends with my mom. My mom's an amazing person. Why are you doing that? Why are you saying that?" And they're taunting the police officers. I wouldn't be a cop for all the tea in China right now. I don't have what it takes to stand there and listen to them scream their vulgar words at me and tell me to go do something gross and awful with my mother or my father. I mean, no, I can't. I'm sorry. I couldn't. That billy club would have been used a lot. I'm telling you, a lot. I just would have. Because I wouldn't have dealt with it. Just wouldn't have. So let's listen for a little while and let's see if they've changed their chant up a little bit, huh? Let's see if they've got a new one. Maybe they're saying something new this time. Or are they saying anything at all? Okay, see the guy that's screaming? You know he's getting his $6,500 a week. Yeah, peaceful protest. Well, look, isn't that the guy from last night on the motorcycle? Isn't that the same dude? Just saying. That's the same dude right there. Amazing. That lady should be hoarse by now, screaming about it. Look, they're already backing him up. Get back, get back. I like pizza too. I love pizza. Video games, I wish it doesn't have anything to do with pizza. Actually, it doesn't really have anything to do with illegal immigrants. There's a bigger plot to this than just that. There's a big plan to all of this, and it's not, and it really doesn't have anything to do with the immigrants. And they're not jumping out of bushes and snatching children. It's not true. No, this has got to be a rerun here, guys. This got to be a rerun because I remember that lady for sure. Let me see if I can find something else here. Yep, that's the same dude. So nasty. Saying all their nasty things. All right, this is the real one here, guys. Sorry. Yeah, this is live. I thought that other stuff looked like we've seen it before. Well, and Chicago's really getting crazy right now. Whose street? Whose street? No, if you're illegal, it's not your street. Sorry. It's not your street if you're illegal. I could not be a cop. Insane. You know, and you know what those cops are thinking right now? Oh my God, here they come again. Oh look, you know that's such a beautiful word to be chanting. And draw, look at that. Draw over everything, would you? Draw over everything. Everything. Everything you can. Wow, that's cool. I love pizza. I love pizza. I mean, we have Italians here that are legal citizens of the United States that came from Italy that are legal. Well, it's definitely dress rehearsal for Saturday. I'm telling you. Tomorrow night is going to be really good, guys. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night because everyone will be doing their dress rehearsal for Saturday. But I'll tell you what, LA is really doing their rehearsing. You know, is it that my brother used to say that F word all the time? He used to say it all the time. It used to be his favorite word. And he used to say, it's nothing but merely an expletive. Well, there you go. They're using that word. F ICE and F Trump and F everything. And they eat with those mouths, by the way. I want you to know that they're eating with those mouths. I would have been eating soap. My mom would have grinded the soap right into my teeth. Crazy. I'm curious who's gonna. Chicago's popping off right now. Chicago's going right now, and that's the only state that I've heard of that's going off, or city right now.
Ford Fisher, what are you doing here, man? You're
Oh yeah, you can see it. You can see it. It's all
I
there.
don't know why you don't.
Well, look at what we got. We got fascist Ford Fisher.
I have to say, literally, I like you for everything except for the fact that I think you don't like me and I don't understand why.
Because you're always by all the Nazis, Ford.
You're calling me a Nazi.
I'm calling you a Nazi.
But I
Well, you just happen to be here.
No, I feel honestly.
Wow, here I'm arguing in the background. They're a Nazi. Everybody's a Nazi. You guys have to be like they do.
I think the only thing I've heard you say that explains why you don't like me is that I also film the right. Which, first of all, I do less often, but second of all, I don't do out of.
I got to tell you something really funny, and I'll turn this. I'll go ahead and unmute this. But you know, if ICE came to my house right now and tried to deport me and say I'm sending you somewhere, I'm going to deport you. Well, I wouldn't know where they would deport me to because I'm part Irish and part German and part Native American and part. I mean, where would they send me? Could I choose where I wanted to go? Just saying. Can I choose?
I like
Right,
to talk
like-
shit, Ford.
I know you do. And honestly, in the past, when you kind of trolled me, like I think I didn't understand that as well. I don't know if you would use this word, but like kind of the performance art elements of your. I don't know. It's like a little performative the way that you like get mad at people or like whatever. And so I may have taken that more personally in the past. Maybe.
Are they gonna? I mean, if they said we're gonna deport you right now, what are you? I'd have to say I'm a Heinz 57. Your officer. I'm a Heinz 57, and I'm Irish, and I'm a little bit of German, and I'm a little bit of English, and I'm a little bit of Native American. And so, can I pick where I want to go? Can you deport me back to Ireland? I think that's basically where I'd like to go because I'm not really sure I'd want to go to Germany or Europe. But you can send me back to Ireland, all right? Because I think there's more Irish than there is anything. Because my mom and dad are Heinz 57. My mother is German and Irish, and my dad was Irish and English. And I think my mom has some Native American there. I am an American, right? I'm an American. And that's what I am. I'm an American. And this is my home. You know, I feel like Jesse Waters. And this is my world. Okay? This is my home. And they can't deport. Somebody was saying they can come and deport us just because.
All right. To anyone who
This
just
guy
kind of
was
heard
out
that
last
interaction,
night.
I didn't want to like self-film. It's not really about me, so I had the camera pointed away as this happened. But what I passed by was a streamer named actually I don't even know his real name, but he goes by Defender of Ants. He's a couple of times like kind of like when we're at the same events, he's sort of like yelled at me and accused me of being on some political side or another. His work is largely like performance, and so sometimes it like he's come up on my stream and acted like excessively angry at me or something. So the interaction, if you may have just heard it in the background, was more or less me trying to just make peace and shake his hand because I don't really know the guy very well, but like to the extent that I've seen his content, I think it's largely performance art, and I have no reason to be an enemy of him other than him apparently not liking me. But we ended that conversation with shook hands. So again, I don't even know if that was really audible on the stream here, but I just wanted to make it clear why that happens. You know, it's live coverage, so sometimes you'll hear something semi-personal, and yeah, it's not the point, right? But anyway, just clarifying that. Anyhow, the protesters went past City Hall as they're kind of starting off here, and now continue to march kind of away from the direction of where other stuff has been happening for the most part. So I have no idea where this is all headed, but we'll see.
I wanted to pull another one up and see what else we got here, guys. So we got this going on. This guy's showing this. We'll stop sharing this and see if we can't find a different one here. Let's go. Now we're going to go back to this for now. Because this was, well, I guess it is. All right. Sorry. Sorry. So sorry. So sorry. All right. We're going to do this. Let me present it. And presenting boots on the ground. Funny, funny. There's nothing going on there. There's no sound on this one. Wow, allergies are killing me. There is no sound to this one. That's our Marine Corps, right? Standing out this side this restaurant. Isn't this our Marine Corps out there standing there outside the cafe? They've got the best duty. Are you serious? They've got the best duty. They're standing there going, yeah, we get to stand outside this cafe. When we're hungry, we'll just run in and get something to eat. Run right back out. The best. Wow. Just wow. Just wow. Just wow. Let me see. I really don't think we want to really listen to him anyway, but we'll see if we can get something else because that's really, I think there's a little bit more going on than that. And Newsom called Newsom called Trump a liar. I like that. Isn't that great? Yeah. Unbelievable. I mean, this is just shocking to me. I know I shouldn't be shocked. I should figure this is what's going on. And yeah, I should be. But I just think there's just more going on than what we're seeing. Just a lot more going on, guys, and we're just not getting. We're not there. Oh, look at Kenya now is protesting. What they're protesting. Let's see. Let me see, guys. I'm looking here. See if I can find something just a little louder and prouder here. Because there's a lot more people out there than what they're showing. I'm telling you. What is this that we're what do we see? All right, let's see. Let me pull this one up here. Wow. It's the first day. That's off. That is way off. They're showing the first day. I recognize that right away. I see, yeah, that's still the first day. Some of these guys are showing the first day. You can't be showing the first day. I mean, that's not good reporting. All right, this is live. Let's watch the detention. Look at that poor guy having to do that. Don't worry, don't take it off because they're coming back and they're gonna paint it right back on the building again because why? Because they can. That's why. It's ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
A great start in the southern part of the state, a very important predominant Latino population. There were a lot of those groups happening during the day. Also here,
You know these guys are saying, "Oh my God, do we have to go through this? Why are we going through this?" There's not very many over there. That's a detention center right there. This is where they're holding them hostage.
law enforcement also blocking off exactly this entrance to make sure that
No, I think isn't that National Guard? I think they got the National Guard over there. The Marine Corps was the ones that I was showing earlier that are standing. Some of them are standing over there by the restaurant.
here in Los Angeles, estimates say that more than
Um,
8,000 undocumented staff.
yeah, they're standing over here by this restaurant, looking at a menu now. They're looking at a menu, going, "Hey, you know what? What do you want for dinner?"
Yep, I went from
But they're not doing
187
here.
to 130.
There's their Humvees, though. Their cars are there. These little gate things are really cool when they pop up. They can pop them up. Those red and white striped things. It comes up and it's like a gate, like a fence.
To New York, also to Chicago. There've been many different.
I don't think they've had to use those. And then when the white buses come out of here, because this is where the white buses come out of, the garage here. This is the one where they're going out, rounding them up and bringing them in. And then they have them here in the detention center. And usually there's more people at the detention center. They're all hanging out mainly at the detention center and the federal building, up on the stairs at the federal building. So they've kind of got it separated. And you know what? Let's see something here. Do they have, let me see if they have anything about Chicago going on here. Let me see here. Let me see if they got any Chicago here going. Yeah, there's the Marine Corps. Okay. So we've seen LA, right? We've seen LA. Basically, this is LA. Now, let me stop sharing this and I will show you Chicago. Let's see Chicago. Here's Chicago. Shall we watch Chicago for a little while? Let's see what's going on here. Because I'll bet you nickel to donuts, or however that saying is. I think it's a dime to donuts, but whatever it is, it don't matter. I'll bet you that these Chicago cops are probably some bad mama jammas to mess with. I'll just bet they are. But I don't know how these guys are all trained to have somebody screaming in your face and not doing anything about it. Wow, those guys are all pretty good sized guys, right? Wow, and they eat with those mouths, guys. watch. We'll watch Chicago for a little while and see, because this is only their second day, basically. So they're getting their practice in here. See, you know what? There you go. There you go, guys. Look, Chicago police are just not going to mess with them. They're just not. Look at them. They're not going to mess with them. Well, that guy's making his $6,500, isn't he? Out there screaming in Chicago. Is the volume okay, guys? You can hear it pretty good. Is the volume pretty good?
Fuck Trump! Fuck guys! Fuck Trump! Fuck guys! Fuck Trump! Fuck guys! Fuck Trump! Fuck guys! Fuck Trump! Fuck guys!
See, they're making their 6,500 too. They're doing good. And if you just came in, we're looking at Chicago right now because LA's there's not as many people out there today, but they're still protesting. I just thought we'd get a different view of the same thing, right? We'll go back to LA in a little bit. And if San Antonio pops off, we'll watch San Antonio. I wonder if Chicago right now has a curfew. I know California has their curfew. Look at him. Wow. Wow. Look at they just walk around. Wow. Get back over here, dude. I need you over here.
Fuck Trump! Fuck guys! Fuck Trump!
Wow.
Fuck Trump! Fuck guys! Fuck Trump! Fuck guys! Fuck Trump! Fuck guys! Fuck Trump! Fuck guys! Fuck Trump! Fuck guys!
Wow. Are they just replaying this over and over? Is that what it looks like to you guys? That seems like the same guy that I saw climbing up there earlier. Yeah, so some of these are the same thing. Look. They're saying this is live, but I don't think this is live. This looks like a replay to me. Like they're doing the short clips and replaying it. Yeah, it looks like it's on a loop. Let me see, Donna. Let me see if I can find Chicago in real time. Because this doesn't look like it's real time. They're saying it's live. They're saying it's live, but I don't think it's live. That's not live.
Who streets? Who streets?
Yeah, no.
Who streets?
This is, you see, this is Chicago, but that was 34 minutes ago. They stopped streaming. I think all the news people are coming on later because they're just not. I have one that I've looked at my city and the biggest city next to me, and I guess they're going to do something on Saturday. They're all going to gather up at noon. That ought to be funny. That should be really funny because those people aren't going to do that. They're not going to look like these people right now. I can tell you that. They're not going to look anything like this. Well, let's see. This is live. This is LA. I guess Chicago doesn't have anything right now that's live. This is not live. Well, maybe this is me. Wait a minute. Yeah, no, this is the same thing right here. They're showing the same thing. So we're going to go back to, let's go back to LA here. Let's go back to LA and then, hey, Sputsy. I know, Lord Jean, right? They were doing it in San Antonio last night. So we're going to go to San Antonio here, but let's watch LA for a little bit because they're not showing. Is that National Guard or is that the Marine Corps? That kind of looks like. No, that says Army on it. So that's got to be your National Guard there. Look at, there's your Antifa. Hey, Sputsy, so glad to have you here. Hey, Glory Jean, love you, girl.
In the military, let's see. As a beginner myself. Oh, a bunch of fucking fellows!
Oh my God, and eat with that mouth that you got going on here.
Culeros, 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 culeros,
Wow.
culeros.
You know, you guys, this is not the way to handle this. I'm just saying. You just you don't like what your president does. You talk to your congressman or your senator or whatever, and then you don't start talking a bunch of smack and lies. They're not. ICE is not jumping out of the bushes and getting these people. It's not happening. They, I listened to Gavin Newsom today, and he was talking a bunch of smack, and he was saying how they're jumping out of bushes and grabbing these people. They know exactly what to tell you, to trigger us, to feel sorry for them, right? I mean, they'll say they know that Americans have a big heart, and they'll say, and here was this 9-month pregnant lady, and they jumped out of the bushes and they grabbed her and they deported her. That's not true. That's not true. ICE is not hiding bushes. They have addresses. They know where they're going to be. They know where they're going to go. They know. They know where they're going to go. They know what to do. Look at that one's bored. Did you hear her? Look at her. Look at her. Peaceful protest. Oh my God, we're so saying this again. Peaceful protest. Peaceful. Okay, don't get too excited there. She knows she's getting her paycheck. Oh, well, you know what? I mean, if I thought that they were being really bad and jumping out of the bushes, I mean, that, I'm sorry, I got an image in my mind that looks pretty funny. If they're hiding, can't you see them now with their little camouflage on and their little tree on top, all the leaves and all the branches and everything on their helmet, and them sitting down in the bushes waiting for somebody to walk by and then just jumping out and getting them? And the lady was 9 months pregnant. Shoot, she would have went into labor right then. Dropped that baby right there on the sidewalk. It's not happening. That's not happening. That sounds like a comedy to me. But oh, Gavin says, okay, oh yeah, peaceful protest. So and Gavin, wonderful Gavin is saying, I mean, he's probably a nice guy if he's your friend. Gavin is saying that it was ramping down. Everything was calming down before Trump sent in the troops. All right, well, that's not true because I've been here every night, and every night has gotten a little bit worse. Tonight probably won't be as bad. Tomorrow's going to be horrendous. I'm telling you that for sure. We will be here tomorrow night because tomorrow night's going to be bad. They're just practicing, guys. This is all a dress rehearsal for Saturday. Saturday's the big show. And that's where you can go to. In fact, I'll put it here in where you can go if you want to write it down or whatever. If they let me, because sometimes oh, look, okay, good. They're letting me do it. And you can go there and they have a map and they will show you what cities. In fact, you know what? Let me see if I can pull that up for you real quick and we'll show it real quick. You can watch that until I pull it up. All right. And then I will share it with you guys here. All right. And then we'll go back to this other. So I'm going to stop sharing this with you real quick. And then I'm going to share this with you and we'll go over this real quick and then I'll go back. So here you go. This is this is their official website, right? And every one of these dots that you see here is where the protests will begin on Saturday. All right. So Austin down here and everything is loaded. I mean, I'm going to just show you just like what if. So let's go. Shoot. Let's just go up in here. Just click on somewhere. All right. They're going to roll out from 12 p.m. to 1:30. Wherever that's at. So you know where to go. How about this one? This one is No Kings Rally in March from 12 to 2 in Chicago, Illinois. And everyone's going to meet at the Daily Plaza. Now, if you think for 1 second it's only going to go till 2, you're probably crazy because I don't think it's going to go just till 2. But you can see where it is a place near you. And this is their website, right? They're having a Zoom call Monday the 16th. They're event training, getting them trained. June 12th, they're having a meeting at June 12th at 8 o'clock till 5, whatever, Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Designed specifically for No Kings event and attendees. All right. So they're doing that. This is so orchestrated, guys. This is what I'm telling you right now. This is where I'm proving to you that this is all orchestrated to the hilt, right? So You like that? No King's mass protests, June 14th, and they've got Trump with a crown on. Like, come on. Come on. So see, on June 14th, Flag Day, President Trump wants the tanks in the streets and a made-for-TV display for dominance of his birthday. No, it's not about his birthday. It's the military's birthday. It's their anniversary, 250 years. It just happens to be Donald Trump's birthday. Donald Trump's birthday has nothing to do with this, but here we're going to throw that in there just so everybody knows, okay? And then it says a spectacle meant to look like strength, but real power isn't staged in Washington. It's rising up elsewhere. On June 14th, they're showing up everywhere he isn't to say no thrones, no crowns, and no kings. Guys, look, there it is, right there in plain daylight, plain sight, right there. There's your map. You can look and see where it's coming to a place near you. And right now they're saying there's 1,800 rallies this Saturday. All of these dots is where they're going to rally on Saturday. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. It's coming to a city near you. Oh, unbelievable. So now I just wanted you guys to see that. You can go there for yourself and click on it, because I don't know, like some of these places. Oh, what is this one? Some of these have lots of them. They're doing it in Florida. They're doing it. Wow, there's a lot on the East Coast. Look how much there is on the East Coast. Anyway. Yeah, look, no king's call for veterans and military families. Yeah, okay. I don't think so. This is their Zoom call stuff. This is when they're having a Zoom call so they can get you all ramped up and ready to go. And then they give you some kind of package that has, like, I don't know, water in it and whatever, a fanny pack and whatever. Yeah. So just so you know, there you go. You've seen it. You've seen it. This is what's going on. It was going to happen. This was going to happen before I ever said anything. They had it all drummed up. They've been doing this for a long time. They have put this together. It was well orchestrated. Spudsy, it's all of, I think they're dark purple dots. This is where the riots are going. They have the time and the place and where to meet in the different cities. You know what? Let me see that real quick. Let me stop this and we'll go up in your area, okay? I'll share that with you. We'll go up and around your area and let's see what we got going here. So, Minnesota. Let's see. Let's go. There's Montana, South Dakota, Minnesota. All right. So if we click on this, we've got from 10 a.m. to 11 at Robbins at Wilmar, Minnesota. All right. So we'll go over here and see. That one is from 1 to 2:30 at St. Paul's Highland. That's probably a church, right? And then, Farmington, Minnesota, No Kings. What is this? This is Amory, Wisconsin. And this one is in Park Falls, Wisconsin. And this is in Spooner. Some of these places, I bet you aren't very big. But let's see. I'm still looking here, Spudsy. This one is at the University of ULM. That's probably a university or something. I don't know. I don't know much about Minnesota. This one is, there you go. I'm showing you most of Minnesota. I show you And some of them are overlaying. So to get down, I mean, you really got to get down. Here you go. There's in Minnetonka, Southwest Metro, from 1 to 3. See, they're meeting from 1 to 3. I don't think that's what they're planning you just to go and do it from 1 to 3. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of places. Everybody is, I mean, guys, like I said, they're not leaving any stone unturned. It's coming to a city near you. That's all I can say. I know that Corpus Christi is having one from noon. They're meeting at Cole Park at like noon, but that'll fizzle out fast. I just don't see them being like this in Corpus. But you know what? Who knows? Who knows? I just look at this guy.
I got my fucking hands up. Why do you guys gotta be so fucking unlawful? What the fuck are we doing? This is fascism at its finest.
It's not fascism. Fascism is on the other side of the street right now. Sputzy, it's the nokings.org. So just type in on your search bar, nokings.org, O-R-G. And that'll take you right there. And then it's on that map and it'll tell you where you can call and if you want to register, and you can listen to all of the Zoom calls and yeah. But the map is right there. It's right there on that site. It's unbelievable. There's 1,800. There's 1,800 protests right now in America scheduled for June 14th. There's no way there's not something close by near you. Oh, well, yeah, they're not going to be doing it in my city because I'm a one-horse town, but they're going to be doing it in a city that's bigger, that's close by. I just don't think it's going to be, I mean, I guess we'll see, right? We'll all see. I'm staying in my house. I'm not going out there to find out. You know, I had a friend of mine tell me, aren't you going to go down there and aren't you going to live stream it? And I said, are you crazy? Some of these live streamers that are on the other side of the coin are getting hurt. They're beating them up. So, no, I'm not going out there. I'm just not. If I knew I'd be okay, I'm an old woman, guys. I'm not going to go out there and put myself so that these young whippersnappers can hit me with their sign. No. See, 47 cities in Indiana. That is just insane. These must be pretty well populated cities in Indiana, huh? I know the San Antonio is one of them. Houston's one of them. Dallas, of course. Denver. I mean, it's all your big cities, but they've got some that are a little bit smaller.
None of you paid attention.
No, they're not paying attention to you. I'm not going. I'm telling you, I'm not going. I'm not going because the first time somebody said something to me, it would be a fight, and they would all. I mean, it wouldn't be good. I couldn't keep my mouth shut. So I'm in a good place and staying in my home where I can scream and holler and not offend anybody. You know, it's a good place for me to be. At home, sitting down. No, I'm going to be with you guys on Saturday afternoon. We're going to watch some of it together, either Saturday night or Saturday afternoon or whatever. when I see that it's really popping off, or I'll schedule something. I think it's not going to pop up until really the afternoon on Saturday, like towards evening. I know. Well, don't worry. He's probably going to get one. It's probably going to happen. I don't know how those guys just can stand there and listen to him without taking that billy club and just hitting me. I would. I'm sorry, guys. I'm honest. Not going to lie to you. I'd be out there and I'd probably use that club. And I'd be the first one going to jail. I'd be the one going to jail. If I had their, I mean, I just couldn't. I couldn't take the taunting these guys are taking right now. They must get that in training. It is total abuse. It is definitely total abuse. And they must go through training for this. They must really just get in their face and scream and holler at them. For them to be able to stand there and just not pay any attention and zone out. You know what they're actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I'll bet you what's happening right now is those guys are standing behind their screens, right? Their shields, thinking, you have got to be kidding me right now. Really? We're doing this again tonight? Some of them are probably singing songs in their head. Some of them are probably thinking about what they're going to have for dinner tonight and not paying any attention to what these guys are doing. Like that one guy or that one lady just said a little while ago. You're not paying any attention to me. No, I'm not. I don't need to hear your vulgarity and your nasty talk. Sorry. I don't need it. I don't need to listen. I don't want to. And I bet you some of these cops in the background are taking pictures to look them up on the database to go arrest them later. I mean, I'm telling you what. If I was an illegal, right, with no record, to look me up would be a little tough, right? I wouldn't be out there in the street screaming because it's like, here I am. I snuck over here, but now I'm going to get in the streets and protest. Really? I wouldn't be.
Make sure you learn it.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're playing that song. The Beatles song in the background. Did you hear that? You hear it? That's crazy. That's crazy. You can't. What are you gonna do? All right, I gotta ask you guys something. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Oh, look at this guy. What are you gonna do? Just they're all here, right? But if we dropped our borders right now and said, okay, everybody, they would flood in. There would be millions. We already have millions. But I mean, there would be millions upon millions upon millions upon millions here. All your jobs, they would take the jobs, and being born in America wouldn't mean anything. You'd lose your jobs, you'd lose everything. And what are you going to do? You're in your own country and you can't get a job, and some illegal person has your job. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? We can't, and this is what these people want. they're using the narrative of why can't we all just get along? Why can't we just be friends? Um, what a world it would be like if we could all, right? Why can't we just all just be friends and live peacefully as one, right? And that's the way that goes. Well, because we can't. Because we have laws, and that's just the way it is. Every country has their laws, and we have ours, and that's just the way it goes. We're no different than the rest of the world. I mean, try to do that. Try to do that in Germany, or try to go over there. Now I heard, I don't know, rumor has it that Great Britain got a lot of immigrants. They opened their border and a bunch of immigrants went over there. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know we got a ton of them. And the amazing thing is, now I'm going to tell you guys something. This is how funny this all gets. So we have Pakistan, we have 21 countries, right? But they flooded over our border. But none of them are from Canada. Think about that for a second. None of them are from Canada. The Canadians don't want to be over here. Their life must be really good because they don't want to be over here. It's just amazing to me. They all flooded in from the Mexico border. And they knew that that's how they could get here. Oh, yeah, right. Right? They should. They should. That would be good. They're all resting right now, I'm telling you. The National Guard's all resting. And they're just like, they're getting ready for tonight. So it is 20 minutes to 6 there. They have 2 hours, countdown, 2 hours and 20 minutes. You know what, guys? I'm not even going to be on here till 8 o'clock because they already said that they have their curfew, and we waited patiently. And I even gave them a countdown, told them the minutes they had left and everything else. And they still stayed out there. They didn't even listen to me. They just still stayed there. So they stay out. They're not listening. They're not listening. They're like, 8 o'clock, my foot. I'll stay out here. I'm over 21 and I'll stay out here as long as I want to. And no government's going to tell me I have to go in by 8. Oh, okay. Well, they said you will be. Hello, Nana Tapor. Are you busy? Are you watching this? Would you like a link? Look, I'm teasing her. I'm teasing her. This is just insane. While they sit here telling us, oh, gotcha, okay. This is just insane how they've lied to us, and they have showed and they have done everything they can to push on your heartstrings and say the things that they're saying that aren't happening. It's not real. This is all a dress rehearsal for Saturday. This is what it is. And 1,800 places will go off on Saturday. And they're not doing that parade. Okay, that's another thing that's a lie. They're not doing that parade for Donald Trump's birthday. They're not celebrating Donald Trump's birthday. It's the 250th year of our military. It's not for Donald Trump's birthday. And everyone keeps saying, oh, he's doing this because he wants to be a king and he's celebrating his birthday and he's going to march the military in the streets for his birthday. That's not it. That is not it. Get your facts right or don't say anything. Because that's not what he's doing. He's not celebrating his birthday with the military. I'm sure he'd rather be celebrating his birthday somewhere else. He's celebrating the military and their anniversary of 250 years, which is kind of cool. But it's not gonna, that's all gonna go haywire. Oh, him and gossip, right? Hit a Hopper's hotline. Yeah, I'm telling you. They're not, there's people out there, they're not telling the truth. And Gavin Newsom's out there and he's not telling the truth. Now, let me tell you something. If the governor, I'm gonna tell you, and you think about this for a second. Just think about this for a second. If your governor is not going to back the president of the United States on what decision he makes, and he's going to buck heads with the president, don't you think these people think that they have the right to do whatever they want to? And if my governor's not going to listen to him, why should I? I mean, this is what's going on. It's that conflict between Gavin and Trump. And Pelosi, and Pelosi is his aunt. So I'm sure she's doing this in Gavin's ear. Do it this way, say it this way, do it this way. She's been in it for a long time. So there you go. There it is, all cracked up and all painted. It's all in a nutshell there. That this is what's going on. And you knew Gavin knew about it because before anyone even started saying anything about all the other riots in the different states, protests in the other states, Gavin said, you know what, there's going to be other places and cities and everything that's going to go off before too long. It's not going to be just California. Gavin, what do you know? What do you know, Gavin? What do you know that you're not telling us? We the people would like to hear the real truth. Don't tell me some kind of lie or paint some kind of picture that's not really happening. Just saying. It's all to make Trump look bad. All of it is. And it's all about showing how perfect they had it 4 years, how perfect it was 2 years ago or a year ago. Guys, I remember what the grocery prices were. They haven't gone down by that much, but I lived that 4 years as they went up. That was during that administration. And now I know, sorry, they blame that on COVID. What? Okay, let's talk about COVID for a minute. Did you see where that couple came in from Wuhan and they had little pills that they were trying to throw in the water in these different farming communities so that the food that they harvest and send out to the stores would make us sick? Did you see that? That is not conspiracy. They arrested them. It's all over. It's all over everywhere. They're trying to take the United States from within. Trying to take it down from within. Any way they can.
it feel to go against your own people?
Sad. It's heartbreaking.
How does it feel, Sergeant?
And the ones that are standing up. Now, see here, guys, let's think about this too. So, all of your people that happen to be on the other side of this coin that are defending Trump,
I have no answers, huh?
they're getting mad too.
Unlawful order.
And you can guarantee they're going to be out on Saturday.
That TDY money is good, huh?
You're going to have fighting in the
Good
streets.
enough to disgrace the country.
It's going to happen. You know that civil war that everybody has been saying, watch out, it's going to happen? Yeah. Well, if they have their way, it will happen on Saturday. It'll kick off on Saturday. And if it doesn't,
Take care of your soldiers.
they've already got one for July 4th planned. So, I mean, look, it's already in the making.
Then have the real white guy.
So these people are going to make $6,500 a week for at least after July 4th. They know what they're doing. It's extremely well organized and it's extremely well planned. And I'm like, why would you do this? Just why? Why would you do this to us? It's stupid. Just shows how intelligent we aren't. Aren't. We are. All of us are. We're intelligent enough to watch it on TV and stay in our house and not be in there with that mess. But there are other people that would like to get their face on TV or play their music on whatever instrument they play out in the streets. Maybe they'll get recognized. Or scream and holler from a megaphone just because. Just because. I mean, is this really going to stop what's going to happen? No, this isn't going to stop. This is not going to stop what's really, truly going to happen. All this is going to do is make it worse. Now, Gavin, I'm using your words. It's going to make it worse. Katty! Good. How are you doing? We're sitting here watching how our most intelligent are doing here. All of our college graduates that are walking down the street, being able to write F Trump on the sign. This is what they learned in college. Oh, it's cold there? How cold? It was 100 and... I think the heat index 105 here. Oh, by the way, that siren, is that the car? Maybe it is the car. Because I know I heard that some of these protesters went out and they found, 52 would be amazing. I heard that some of these protesters went out and they bought a siren so that they could kick off a siren in the group. Try to drive the cops nuts. See, all this noise. Why are you doing that? I hope everyone packed their ibuprofen because they're going to need it. Just unreal. Totally unreal. Nana Tefor, did you see where if you go to nokings.org, there's a map and you can click on your state you live in and you can see what time and where they're meeting for Saturday? And if you register, there's a Zoom call you can be on the night before. Yeah, they're having a Zoom call the night before so they can all get all their people together. Yeah, it's going to be huge Saturday. This is all a dress rehearsal. I figured tonight it will be pretty much the same old, same old. So I'm probably not going to stay on here till 8 o'clock California time because you know what? I'm not going to stay on here till 8 o'clock California time when they know they have a curfew and they don't listen. All right? They're not listening. They're not going. They're hanging around till after 8 o'clock. So we already know after last night that they're not observing the curfew that they were told they had to do. All right. So tomorrow night, I'll probably be on a little bit longer than I will be tonight because I believe that tomorrow is going to be crazy. Okay. This is the night before the show. It's going to be really crazy tomorrow night. And you're going to have a bunch of dress rehearsals going on Friday night. Saturday night is going to be, it'll kick off Saturday afternoon. And it's going to, there is so much stuff going on Saturday to collide with this. I mean, this is like the Clash of the Titans. There is so much stuff going on Saturday that it's going to get ugly and it's going to get ugly fast. There you go. There you go. There's one right next to me too. But you know what? I'm just staying in my house. I don't care. I'm going to celebrate with some enchiladas. I'm going to make some enchiladas on Saturday. I'm telling you guys, I can't make this stuff up. I really am. And it wasn't because of this. I was going to make them anyway. But I just thought it was funny when I was thinking about it today. Yeah. You know, and they're sitting there holding signs saying stolen land. Who stole it? Who stole it? You guys are going to steal it? It's going to be real big, Teddy. It's going to be huge on Saturday. Bring your popcorn because it's going to kick off and it's going to be huge. Oh, Donna. That's terrible. That's terrible. You know how they call in the reserve? How they call in the reserve? Yeah. Well, they're going to be calling in their reserve. Right? Bring your popcorn. Get ready, because it's going to be insane. It'll be a movie to watch for sure. And we're going to be popping around from one side to the other, watching and seeing. How silly, who gets the silliest? So, like I said, I figured tonight's going to be probably just an average night, so I'm not going to be on here as long. But I'm going to tell you, tomorrow night we'll probably be here about 3 hours because tomorrow night should be really ramped up and because they'll got to do their rehearsal, right? Got to get the rehearsal in before the big day. And then we're going to have the big day. Oh, the Antifa girlies. Yeah. Yep. I'm telling you, they're already. They're ramping up. They're getting ready. This is a dress rehearsal Tomorrow will be bigger. Okay, tomorrow's going to be bigger and louder, and you're going to see crazier stuff because they got to get the dress rehearsal in good. And then Saturday is going to be the show, and it's going to be loud and proud. I don't know how proud, but I mean, look what all you've got going on Saturday. You've got the Trump parade going, right? You got always, let's see. Let me see. I'm sorry. I shut him up. Let's see.
Stand up, NCOs. Hands in front. Lie back. No.
So 302 is when yours is going to ramp up. Is that what you're trying to tell me, Donna? So tonight in LA, like I said, tonight in LA is going to be probably pretty peaceful, except for the agitators. They'll stay out after 8 o'clock tonight and start their havoc because they don't listen to the rules and they don't listen to curfew. And then tomorrow night is going to be pretty good. It's going to be really ramped up tomorrow night. I keep repeating that. I'm sorry. Something inside me like say it again, say it again. And so tomorrow we will be here for a while. And then, of course, Saturday night, the movie begins. That cat is so smart. Right, Donna? You have the smartest cat ever.
California National Guard, you guarding us right now? No.
Yeah, they're putting their practice on right now. Okay, so here I'm going to get my mouth going and start going, and I'm going to start remembering exactly what I'm supposed to scream out and everything, and then we're going to do a dress rehearsal tomorrow, and then put on the show.
California National Guard soldiers who Trump surged into Los Angeles remain unpaid due to delays in issuing official activation orders bringing compensation and benefits to them. And this is coming from the National Guardsmen themselves. According to more than 1,000 guardsmen across 4 units who spoke to military.com, none have received formal activation orders, the critical paperwork that not only authorizes their duty status, but also unlocks.
You know, this just brings up a thing. One time I went to the grocery store with my mom, and I was probably about 10 years old or so. And the lady behind the counter said, "Are you getting ready for the big night?" And I didn't know what she was talking about. And mom nudged me and said, "Christmas is tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh, well, we're getting ready for the big night. That's what we're getting ready for, the big night." I feel more sorry for the National Guard having to stand there all those hours watching these fools play their games. I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous. I just don't know what to say, guys. I just don't. I just know what I know. I just know what I know, and I know that tomorrow's going to be bigger and badder tomorrow than it is tonight. I just know it. And then Saturday is just going to be a living nightmare. And they're getting ready and then they'll go home after Saturday. They may go Saturday, Sunday, Monday. See, I'm telling you, they're going everywhere. And then, oh, did they? Oh, how cool! That is so cool. Good. McDonald's is giving the vouchers. How nice is that? So they may go they'll go Saturday. They may go Sunday. They may do Sunday and Monday. But a lot of these people really do have jobs, so they may not do that much on Sunday. But they're going to ramp up for the 4th of July. They'll all get together and they'll start doing their thing on Sunday, on the 4th of July, because that's a 3-day weekend. 4th of July has never fallen on a Friday before, or on a Friday. So it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they're gonna get their yayas off on Saturday here, doing their stuff, and then if they don't get done with their agenda, whatever they have that they're gonna do, then they're gonna start working on the 4th of July. That's exactly what they're gonna do. Sorry, I had myself muted and I'm over here talking to myself. I'm looking for something good to show you from Chicago. Of course, I'm just sitting here thinking, do you really think that Chicago needs that much of a rehearsal? I think LA was the one that really needed a few days of rehearsal. So I'm sure they're still ramping up in Chicago. They're just showing LA basically. Um, let's see. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Let's see. I was from.
One of my biggest dreams was to road trip Europe in a van, and I actually attempted it 2 years ago, but I was mentally in a very difficult place. There's a bunch of reasons why I'm in a better place now, but one of the biggest is my therapist, who I unfortunately cannot name. It was actually a friend, Simon, who recommended
Oh, sorry,
therapy
guys.
after I
Sorry.
survived a near.
Goodbye.
Alien detected in the engineering section near reactor number 3.
Where are they all going to? It looks like. Okay, I'm going to show you a different one here. Because, here, let me show you a different one. Because they're going somewhere. I don't know where they're going, but they're going somewhere. Look. Look. They're all going somewhere. They're going somewhere. Where are they going? Somebody must have talked to somebody on their walkie-talkie. Amen, Paul. Amen. I'm with you all the way there. Yep. It's curfew time for who's, Betsy? For Minnesota? Are they got an 8 o'clock curfew? It is. It really is, Paul. Do you know that, God's looking up, looking down from the heavens, going, what is wrong with you people? Yeah. Oh, okay. So Chicago has an 8 o'clock curfew. Well, that's probably right. That's probably why we're not seeing Chicago. I bet they all have an 8 o'clock curfew. Well, Central Time is 8:10 right now. We're- Come on, come on, come on, come on. What are you doing to me here? You're doing that. Thank you. Jeez. Sorry about that, guys. This is their dress rehearsal, and this is my rehearsal to get ready for Saturday so I can fight all the commercials. I mean, they're being so quiet. Look at them.
It would appear that the entity wants us alive.
But I want to know where they went. Where were they going? See, they're all marching. They're all marching, and I don't know where they're going. This is coming from the helicopter, so this is cool. We can see exactly what they're doing here. They're marching to where are they going? It's so very sad. It is so very sad. I mean, don't they realize they're just making all of this worse? They really are. They're making all of this worse than it should be. Oh, yeah. You know what? The National Guard is definitely holding the line. And you know they've got to be getting tired. There's 4,000 of them and 700 Marines there. And you know, I know that in Texas they've already called out the National Guard. They're waiting. They're all out there. So I think he called them all out. Of course, you know, because you know Texas is a big state. We need as many National Guard people as we can get. Thank you, Paul. God has blessed Texas. I'm telling you, He has blessed Texas in some ways. He's not blessing us with the weather. Well, no, you know what? I'm good. That's a lie. That is a lie. I just lied to you because we got rain today, and I was very thankful because we've been in a drought. So God blessed us with some rain today. I was very happy. Hey, KMM. Okay, listen. Look at, I'm gonna tell you like I tell my daughter. Listen here, little girl. I want you to write this website down. It is called No Kings, just like it is, no kings.org, O-R-G. And there's a map there. And it has little dark purple dots on the cities and the places that they are going to rally or whatever, protest or whatever on Saturday, right? It's going to give the meeting place, what time, and everything. So you can go to that map and you can see if it's coming to where you're going to be or close by.
Mic check. Check, check. Carolina?
That's all right. That's all right, Sputsy. I don't think we've heard anything out of Louisiana yet. I don't, you know what? I'm sure they're going to be involved. In fact, let me look and see. When you make oh my God, what is this in the middle of the water? The Virgin Islands. Well, they're going to do theirs on Saturday too. Let's see. This is Houston. So let's see if we can get over here to Louisiana.
I finally put the baby down.
Look how much we earned this month.
Covington.
With Rally
All
Credit
right, there, lady. Covington, Louisiana is where they're going to be. But I'm sure New Orleans is in there. Thank you, Paul. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming and joining us for a little while. Oh, you're not leaving, are you? I hope not. I'm not going to be on here much longer. I'm only going to do 15 more minutes. Because tomorrow is going to be a bigger, louder night. And I want to be able to spend more time with you guys tomorrow. It's going to be loud and proud tomorrow night.
Okay.
You know, Seg, I was just seeing that in Iran, right? I thought that he had already done that. I thought he had already done that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that I already heard that they struck Iran. Is it struck Iran today?
That's right, Mark. We're keeping an eye on that group that started at the federal detention.
That's what I
center on
heard.
Alameda,
That's what I heard. I
rolled out
thought I heard
100
that.
to 150 demonstrators,
Wow.
now making their way towards the
Well,
west
why all of our
downtown
military's out on the
approaches. They
streets
were right in
rounding up
front
baby
of the
ducks.
National Guard, which remains at their post in front of the detention center. That order.
Yep,
No,
there you go.
they
I mean,
are unveiled. No
everything that can
detectable
pop off
movement
is
from
popping
them
off, and it's.
for at least
I'm
another
telling you, Saturday is gonna
Mark,
be. It's just gonna be a nightmare. And I want to know where these guys are marching to. I'm sure they have a destination. They know they're going somewhere. They're just gonna walk around in a circle or what? Yeah. Yeah. See? Oh.
Caesar here in the homeland would be met with a swift response. So I think that there is a multi-layered response underway by the U.S. right now in light of the Israeli efforts.
All right, Sam Granograd, thank you so much.
Thanks.
And our partners at the BBC have been covering this breaking news.
I'm sorry, you know what? I had my mic muted.
In Iran. Let's take a listen.
You have to watch me.
Is the
You have to watch me on that. I'll be over here just talking to myself.
We were speculating
So let's see what's going on over there.
But we were still considering that the first thing would be the talks between the US and Iran on Sunday. So the fact that we have this strike on Friday completely changes the whole narrative. The second aspect, as just mentioned, is the consequences for the US and the US-Israel relations, because it's very unclear one, how much the U.S. Knew about it. So far, it seems that the U.S. was not involved in any way with those strikes, and the consequences first on the safety of U.S. personnel, U.S. Citizens in the region, and what it means also for the next step, which will be very likely the Iranian retaliation. And this will probably force the US also to get involved alongside Israel. So all of that is raising a lot of questions for the coming days, I would say.
Yeah, President Trump had gone on record saying he didn't want Israel to strike Iran, but that has now happened. So what do you think that does for the relationship between himself and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu?
Well, that's a key question. We know that the relationship was quite difficult even before President Trump came back to the White House. But over the last weeks, we saw when President Trump visited the region that Israel was not a big priority on his agenda. But now I think he will take this attack, this preemptive attack from Israel, almost as a personal offense. The fact that you
The mangled fuselage of the aircraft tore through the building, its tail jutting from the upper floors. Eyewitnesses describe a deafening blast as the plane, flying unusually low, slammed into the hostel just minutes after takeoff from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport. A medical college located near the crash site was not spared from the flames. Students and their families suffered burns and are in need of urgent care.
हमें ये पता चला है कि जो एयर इंडिया की विमान थी जो कि लंदन जा रही थी, वो जो उस विमान का जब क्रैश हुआ तो कई पोर्शंस जो हैं वो बीजे मेडिकल कॉलेज परिसर में गिरा है, जो कि गुजरात में है। बीजे मेडिकल कॉलेज के जो स्टूडेंट्स के MBBS स्टूडेंट्स का हॉस्टल था, वहाँ पर डैमेज हुआ है, और जो सुपर स्पेशलिटी ब्लॉक है जहाँ पे सुपर स्पेशलिस्ट डॉक्टर्स रहते हैं, उस रेसिडेंशियल ब्लॉक में डैमेज हुआ है। MBBS स्टूडेंट्स लंच के समय होने के कारण वहाँ पर काफ़ी मौजूद थे, और करीब 50 लोगों के घायल होने की खबर हमें आई है।
The crash site, which is a densely populated residential area, was instantly transformed into a scene of chaos and devastation. Firefighters, rescue teams scrambled through thick smoke and debris, searching desperately for survivors. Amid the charred wreckage and the twisted
Yeah, I thought that was India, but they were supposed to be talking about Israel. They were supposed to be.
Outside crowds gathered in shock as emergency crews battled flames and pulled the injured from the rubble. Several cars parked nearby were also destroyed in the blaze.
Well, you know what, guys? This is what I got to say. It's a good thing that these rioters can't fly airplanes.
But in this tragedy, there is a lone survivor, a passenger who miraculously escaped from the crash. More than 240 passengers
but you're not showing us what
are dead. But one man aboard the ill-fated Air India flight 171 has managed to escape. And from the video, it seems he has suffered a few injuries. 40-year-old Vishwas Kumar Ramesh, a British national, is the lone survivor from the London-bound plane that crashed at the periphery of the Ahmedabad airport just seconds after it took off. Vishwas Kumar Ramesh was seated on 11A and he is being treated for his injuries at a hospital in Ahmedabad. According to reports, Ramesh heard a loud noise within.
All right, sorry guys, I'm going to show you a different one. I'm going to show you something different here. I know you don't care about that.
I mean, it's important that we all do that. We turn to God. I mean, you look throughout Scripture when we see God's people in the Old Testament, when push comes to shove, what are they? It's either you follow me and you obey me, and you seek me and you turn to
Right.
me, or you don't. And we see in scripture what happens when they go one way or the other. And so the results are pretty self-explanatory there. So amen. Let's continue to pray and pray some more. But what you're seeing, by the way, when we were showing that, what is the it's footage of the strikes that did hit that Israel, as breaking news tonight, struck Iran there, targeting key officials in the nuclear program. And, you know, Yoav, I got to ask you what your response is to that statement from Marco Rubio, because it's, you know, it talked about it being a unilateral action and sort of essentially distance the United States from this action. And given what we know about Iran and their stated intentions of wanting to wipe Israel off the face of the map, you know, I too have been to Israel, as Raj and Kelly have been talking about. And one of the things that I remember vividly was, I think it was 2018 or so, when the U.S. Embassy got moved in Trump's first term into Jerusalem. And there were protests at the border in Gaza, and they were the news. All the news was you know, innocent, you know, Gazans being shot by Israelis. And what the IDF showed us down there when we were at the border was, hey, they were burning the fence trying to get through it, and they had materials online and websites online that were showing dotted lines that went through the fence and went right to the kibbutzes and said they wanted to kill Israelis. And so the IDF is like, hey, this is the information that they're putting out, what they want to do when they get through the border. It's incredible when I go back and watch that video now, because it's literally exactly what happened on October 7th is what they were trying to defend against there. And of course, the media sort of unleashed against Israel, and look at how horrible Israel is for defending their border. So now fast forward to today, and Israel once again is taking the threat seriously from Iran, taking what they're saying at face value, that they want to wipe Israel off the face of the earth, and they're making these advancements towards stronger weapons. They've already attacked a couple of times. So what's your response, Yoav, to the American response, where it kind of felt like a little bit of distancing, or do you think that's just sort of standard fair politics? I know we're in uncharted territory here, so there's nothing really to compare it to, but what was your reaction to that statement?
So, first of all, I would say I hope that all of this act is planned with the Americans and our fellow, you know, and the regime and the, can you hear me? Yeah. So.
Or keep going,
So I hope
it. Yeah, that's another guess. Yeah.
I hope it was planned, and actually, Marco Rubio is one of the supporters of defending Israel for everything that is needed. And I hope there will be an American support with the protection and, if needed, to finish the threat. Because, by the way, the threat is not only Israel. We've been saying, I mean, everyone that is coming over here and meet me and knows that Iranians are saying, or the Iranian regime is saying constantly, that it's not Israel going to be wiped out of the map. And I think people take it for granted that when they say the big Satan is Israel, the small Satan is Israel, and the big one is America. Right. Yes, they don't have ballistic missiles that will get to America right now, but there is, you know, and what I feel now is that I hope that America is standing with us. I'm getting all these messages from a Muslim call to prayer of our neighbors.
Oh, sorry, I
Israeli
was
fellows,
talking here and I had myself
Muslim.
on mute. This is crazy, guys. Everything is going off at one time. Everything's going off at one time. We've got Israel striking Iran, and they're wanting the backup, right? And then we've got our military on our streets, and we're fighting our own, which is ridiculous and asinine. We don't have enough time for that. I mean, we don't have. This is insanity all at one time. Is the enemy not busy. That's all I've got to say. Enemy not busy.
And a former IDF spokesperson. Lieutenant Colonel, thanks for being here. How are you?
So far, so well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, why don't you give us your reaction, first of all, to the events of tonight?
Yeah, so what I know so far is that Operation Rising Lion is a targeted attempt by Israel to strike a variety of.
No, Spatsy, it wasn't you. It was me. I put it on mute so that you guys can hear better. And I was just talking away on mute. So it's not you, it's me.
And other targets that are facilities as well. And I think that Israel has quite a significant bank of targets ready for whatever the contingencies will be, and also probably depending on what type of response we will see from the Iranians. So far, I don't know, I don't have confirmed BDA yet, battle damage assessment. There are early reports that several senior Iranian military figures were indeed eliminated in the first surprise attack or the first wave of Israeli attacks. That is still unconfirmed, but I know that that was indeed one of the targets to strike senior military and regime leaders, and monitoring that very closely. And I think we've seen footage from Tehran indicating what looks like surgical, very pinpoint Israeli strikes at certain locations. And those were, of course, based on Air Force capabilities, intel, and with very specific targets. So far in Israel, we have not yet had any missiles fired, but I think everybody understands that that is just a question of when that will happen. And Israelis are now preparing for days of being inside shelters or close to them. There are not going to be any schools tomorrow. No congregation of people is allowed, and no work. And basically, people need to be close to bomb shelters as per the special guidance of the government. And this really can go into various ways. You know, I think that Israel has been preparing this for quite a while. I think that the last big milestone was in September after Iran attacked Israel, and then Israel retaliated for the first time with, you know, serious capabilities. That I think was a major psychological barrier that was crossed for Israel and for the region and for the Iranians as well. And the Iranians understood that Israel indeed has the intel and the operational capability to penetrate deep into Iranian airspace, to attack targets, and very importantly, to get back home safely. Since then, Israel has been preparing what we're seeing now. And what I understand from Israeli officials is that Israel is responding to the significant escalation by the Iranians, what could be described as sprinting towards a bomb and taking drastic steps is what Israel is doing in order to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were talking about it earlier on this broadcast, that they have made exponential progress in just the past, few months and year or so, when like the line.
Okay, guys, look, I need to show this to you. This is late breaking. You've got to hear this here. Sorry. We know what's going on in Israel. I got to show you this real quick. I put it on pause so you could.
Under the Constitution. And so we are very gratified by this decision. His section that he asserted the authority to overrule the objections of a state governor. Clearly, in the 36-page order, those cornerstones that he claimed or asserted were not met. Section 12, 406, clearly there's no invasion, there's no rebellion. It's absurd. And so we're gratified. Today is a big day for the Constitution of the United States, for our democracy. And I hope it's the beginning
Okay, Gavin. So you've had the National Guard removed from what they're doing in California, and if it burns down and it burns to the ground, it's your
I no
fault.
longer can push this state around any longer. Happy to take any questions.
The other night,
Well, I hope we look at what happened to Senator Padilla, not through the blue or red lens, but through your own set of eyes. And just tell me that that's right. Here's the United States Senator in his home state, in a federal building, in his office building, that wishes to join a press conference, not dissimilar to this, and express himself by simply asking a question, and was handcuffed, was thrown down to the ground, a United States Senator. And anyone that knows Alex Padilla knows one thing about Alex Padilla. He's one of the most mild-mannered, decent people you'll meet. And that's not, don't just take my word for it. Folks on the other side of the aisle would acknowledge that. I thought it was a disgrace. I want to make this clear. The National Guard will come back under my authority by noon tomorrow. The National Guard will be redeployed to what they were doing before Donald Trump commandeered them. The National Guard.
All right, guys, there you go.
Security,
California is going to be a
working
nightmare
counter
tomorrow
drug
night.
enforcement and fentanyl enforcement, which they were taken off by Donald Trump. The National Guard will go back to working on what we refer to as the rattlesnake teams, doing vegetation and forest management, which Donald Trump took them off in preparation for wildfire season. The National Guard, men and women, will go back to their day jobs, which include law enforcement, that he took them off the job. Just want you to all absorb what I just said. By the way, you don't have to absorb it. You'll have an opportunity to review that in the 36-page order from Justice Breyer that laid that out. And they'll come back under the rightful command of the governor of the state of California. Do it peacefully. It's a vulgar display. It's the kind of thing you see Kim Jong-un, you see it Putin, you see it with dictators.
Gavin, you're not going to have a
around the
state
world,
left.
that are
You are
weak
not going to have a
and just
state
want to
left after
demonstrate
this weekend.
strength. Weakness masquerading as strength. To fet the dear leader on his birthday. What an embarrassment. Honestly, it's that's about as small as it gets. How weak do you have to be to commandeer the military to fet you on your birthday in a vulgar display of
That's
weakness?
not what it's about, Gavin. Why are you putting that out there? It's a parade for the birthday of the military. You are such. This is a picture of
All been
evil.
waiting for this decision.
I'm telling
And
you,
then I had
this
a
is
chance
a
to talk
picture
to
of
the
evil.
governors, and by the way, every Republican governor. I remember one of them by the name of Kristi Noem, who just a few months ago was on there with one of the spokespeople for the Trump administration, Sean Hannity, and was going on and on and on about a rumor that somehow former President Biden was going to federalize her national troop. And she stood there talking about freedom and federalism, the 10th Amendment. And here she is, her folks throwing the United States Senator from the great state of California on the ground and handcuffing him in his office building in 2025.
Governor, what about the Marines? Were you disappointed that Judge Breyer didn't address that issue? Is that something that you expect to develop?
Well, there's been a lot of rhetoric from Pete Hegseth, that's his name, that they've quote unquote been deployed, but it doesn't appear they have been, but they were making you believe that. And so I think the judge was waiting for the evidence that they actually have been deployed into Los Angeles, which they appear not to be. Of course, they're not coordinating with anybody on this. So he's just waiting for that evidence. Obviously, they moved to another location for training exercises. But there's the bottom line. The police do policing. Military, it's for the battlefield.
This is not going to be
idea
good for
that
him, guys. I'm
these
telling you right
unbelievably
now,
brave
right now,
men and women that
this
I
is
work
not
with
going to
that
be
do
good for
have the
him.
benefit
We might as well
of
say
their
goodbye to
historic
LA right now.
contribution
It
all
is going to
across this
be
state. I
in
gave you 3
ruins.
examples.
And
What more evidence
let's
do we need
take
of the
back
work they did during the fire
the
wildfires in
Olympics,
Los
because
Angeles and all
we
the
don't
work they
want to have
did
the
to
Olympics
secure
in a
civilian
city that's
property
been destroyed.
lives.
This man
Over the course of the last few months,
is trying.
these folks are
He's
now
trying to make
being commandeered
Trump
to
look bad,
do
and
ice
he is
raids.
going to fail. He's
You've
been
seen the
failing.
photographs.
It's
That ends tomorrow
unbelievable.
at noon. And the notion that the United States active duty Marines, these heroes, would be used to militarize the streets of an American city is an abomination. Founding fathers did not live and die to see that happen in this country.
Well, you know what? When they start tearing up your city, which is going to happen, Gavin, it's going to happen. It's going to be too late to call anybody out because it's going to be all in chaos. And we can thank you for that, right, Gavin? We can thank you.
Puts that in perspective. And hopefully Donald Trump will immediately back down. The courts have ruled on the guard. They will be back under my command, and he'll be relieved. Donald Trump will be relieved of his command at noon tomorrow.
On that note, it sounds like you're saying that the president and Secretary Hegseth will honor those this order, and then you've also mentioned that you would try to work with the president in the past.
Of course.
Has this situation changed your dynamic with the
No,
president?
because I will work with anyone to advance the interests of 40 million Americans that I happen to represent. Here
Right,
in
Paul?
California.
You're definitely in my prayers because this man has
But I also
lost the
going to
plot.
stand firm and tall and push back.
He has lost the
against,
plot. Everyone say a
lawlessness.
prayer for California
As
this
someone
weekend
that does not
because
believe in the
he's
rule of
going to
law,
make
does not
all the
believe in
he's going to
constraints,
make
does
all of
not
his
believe in the
police
Constitution,
force stand down
media
like he
judges,
did, and they can hide behind
threatens
buildings.
not
This
to
is
abide by
this is
orders,
a
and Donald
travesty.
Trump better abide by these orders, or we have a constitutional crisis, likes of which we haven't seen in our lifetime.
Gavin, I hope they
Well,
come into your
that
home.
will be determined by fate
Okay.
in the future, but also
I hope
fundamentally by
I hope you really
whatever decision he makes.
with and
That's how
smell of it
things break
because
down.
this was horrible.
It's a
It's
federal
innocent
judge
people in LA.
with a
You're
federal
nuts.
order. Period. Full stop. It's the rule of law. These are the foundational principles of a constitutional democracy. He must work under the constraints as a constitutional officer of the Constitution of the United States of America. That's what this court order demands of the President of the United States. He is not a monarch, he is not a king, and he should stop acting like one.
Kind of funny how you use those words, Gavin. No king, right? Do you
We
know
had a
about all the
mysterious
rioting going
conversation
on
with
this
me 3
weekend?
days
What do
later.
you know? What do you know?
You can't even make this stuff up. Oh, I would love to share the readout, but I revere the office of presidency, so I'll keep it in confidence. He has quite literally made up components of that conversation. He's been a chief of staff. Missed call from the president, called him back. I actually texted him back. He wanted full disclosure, and he called me right back. We discussed for a nanosecond Los Angeles, and he immediately zigged and
Can
zagged
you
and
imagine
7 or 8
this
other
man
topics.
being the
Some
president
extraordinarily
of,
familiar
talk about
and some extraordinarily
narcissist.
remarkable.
Can you imagine him
Considering
being the
the world
president
we
of
live
the
in.
United States? That's his
I
goal.
learned about it when I saw some tweet about Governor Newsom, a nickname, by the way, that's hardly original. There was an 8th grader on Baltimore Street in Corte Madera that used to call me that. And the reference to the National Guard being commandeered in that same tweet. That's how I learned about it.
Governor, are you confident this ruling will stand on appeal, especially if it gets to the Supreme Court?
Well, I'm confident in the rule of law. I'm confident in the Constitution of the United States. I'm confident in the wisdom and judgment of a very well-respected federal judge. And I'm confident on the basis of the review of the 36 pages, absolutely, it will stand.
Governor, does this order go even further than you expected? I think you were trying to ask for them to simply be restricted to federal
I'll just say we're extraordinarily pleased by the 36-page ruling of Justice Breyer.
Can you speak to some of the journalists who have been, about some of the journalists in LA who?
You know what, guys?
Well, there's two investigations.
I'm going
One
to
we initiated with the California Highway Patrol.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Gavin has just did the most horrendous, horrible thing he could have ever done. And it's not going to be good. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be good. And Trump is going, okay, well, you know what? I'll just wash my hands of it right now. Because you couldn't take care of you could not take care of your state like you were supposed to. You told your police to stand down. They were hiding under underpasses while people threw rocks at them. This was way before Trump sent out the National Guard. You know what, Gavin? You have made the biggest mistake of your life right now. And there's no one to blame but you right now. You've done it. Unbelievable. I'm sorry, guys. Unbelievable.
Should feel safe, and we'll get to the bottom of it. I don't want to prejudge, but I'm concerned about him. That's why we advanced the investigations.
Today in San Francisco, immigration attorneys tell us that there were 3 additional folks who were detained while heading into the ICE court offices on Sansom. This is some of just many detentions we've seen at courthouses and immigration offices in the Bay Area around the state. And many of these people, their attorneys are telling us they have complicated technical cases. What are your thoughts about seeing these detentions occurring in your communities around California?
Well, he's on, let's just dispense. This is not about criminals. If it's about criminals, got no beef with me. We want to secure our border. We need comprehensive immigration reform. We need a pathway to citizenship for people being here 10, 15, 20 years, contributing, paying their taxes, being remarkable members of our community. But that's not what this is about. I was in Oxnard, California, and Ventura County yesterday, met with 3 people directly impacted by indiscriminate raids. I met a 12-year-old boy in 6th grade, weeping, crying, tears pouring down his face. His mother and father were both detained. They disappeared. He has no brothers, no sisters, no family. He quite literally is on his own, abandoned. That's Donald Trump's America. 20 plus years, his mom and dad working in the same fields, doing the same packing and shipping. 20 plus years. They've disappeared. 12-year-old boy. You saw the images of ICE officers running through strawberry fields, CBP helicopters above. I met a woman, a single mother, who was walking out at 5:45 a.m. to get in her car. 7 agents surrounded her. They took her in a car, in essence kidnapping her, driving her around for almost 2 hours until she finally convinced the agent, because she has 3 young children, a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and an 8-year-old.
I'm going to say this right now. I don't believe one word that's coming out of this man's mouth. Not one single word that he's telling. And he's telling stories that he knows exactly where to hit people at the heart. And like I said, you have made a grave mistake, Gavin. You've made a grave mistake. And you know, this is something you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life.
Year-old that they needed to get to school, and there's no one to help them get to school. She was finally allowed to call her oldest daughter, who was interrogated by the agent and threatened. And they threatened her after they dropped her off, said, "We may be back," terrorizing this single mother. No criminal record, no criminal background. I met another young woman whose husband has quite literally disappeared. No criminal record. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't even know what happened. That was just yesterday. That's Donald Trump's America.
I don't believe you, Gavin. I don't believe you. I think you've made up far-fetched stories to get your agenda across.
Have some fresh fruit, some fresh vegetables. Who provided those? Who supported you? than that. Think about it when you go home and the construction around your property, or maybe you're getting a remodel. Who's doing that work? Destroying not only the foundations of our democracy, the best, again, of the Roman Republic, the Greek democracy, but now our economy is at risk because of the recklessness and the
Well,
cruelty.
let's see what happens to you to come tomorrow night and Saturday.
Of
Hey,
Donald
Devin,
Trump.
let's
Why else
see.
do you go to a 7-Eleven? Why else do you go to a nail salon? Why else do you just randomly show up in front of a hardware store? Why else? It's not about criminals. That's about creating chaos. And I do not believe the American people, the majority of the American people, support that. Quite the contrary. And so this decision was important because it's about constraints, it's about limits.
No, it's about you winning is what it's about. It's about you winning and you forgetting your people.
Well, I think the courts will. I think that's, look, I'm counting on these separations of power. It's the co-equal branches of government. Co-equal, Mr. President, branches of government. He's eliminated one, or they eliminated themselves. That's called Congress. Speaker Johnson, who his eloquence was elevated when he called to, quote unquote, tar and feather the governor of California. That's the speaker. Very religious man. I guess that's the spirit. The word, the Lord.
Do not put the name of the Lord in your mouth. Please don't do that.
United States. There's one branch remaining, and that's the judicial branch. So my response to you is we count on the judicial branch. But there's also, as I said, I ended that speech 48 hours ago. I said there's the most important office, and that's office of citizen. That's all of you. Stepping up, stepping in, and sharing your passion with action. Pushing back against this peacefully, and sharing your voice.
They haven't been peaceful, Gavin, since day one.
Millions of Americans rightfully expressing their outrage, their constitutionally protected right to assemble and free speech, peacefully expressing that all across this country. I pray that's the case.
It won't be. It won't be peaceful. It's going to be bad, Gavin, and it's all your fault. It will be all your fault because you think you're a king.
This is what he does. He creates a problem, and then he tries to be a hero in his own Marvel movie. Did it on fill in a blank on almost every topic. Creates the problem, and then tries to do a make-believe as if you're all perfect little sheep, and you're going to go on with it to be the hero in his own Marvel movie. He initiated those raids. He significantly increased the scale and scope of those raids. That's why he wants the National Guard. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guardsmen and women now being dispersed everywhere, sprinter vans, unmarked, people with masks, running in, rolling over, some case running in.
Who's wearing the masks, Gavin? Who's wearing the masks? The ones that are doing the rioting in your cities.
Left. So, spare me, Mr. President, that he's sincere on that. But if he is, that happened because of you. It happened because of the American people, because they stood up. And that should give us some optimism. Thank you all very, very much.
That was insanity, guys. What do you think? Tell me what you think. I want to know what you guys think. That was bad. That was bad. It's not going to be good this weekend. It's going to be worse than I thought. Say a prayer for California, everybody. Say a prayer for California tonight. They haven't been peaceful since day one. And he told his police officers to stand down. So the blood is on your hands, Gavin. It's all in your hands now. Right? Right. I'm sure Neville Singham paid a very good price for him. All right, guys, it's been 2.5 hours. Tomorrow, like I said, is going to be really interesting, and now it's going to be even more interesting since Gavin has control and he's sending the National Guard out by noon tomorrow. Dear God, please watch over California. What comes to my mind? Forgive him, he know not what he does. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you on that. Love y'all. Have a great night, and we'll be back tomorrow.
It is not that the nature of men and women.
From shady news to crime so rough, you already know we just can't make this stuff.